Hey everyone, Evan with Fishing Life 101, and today I'm going to show you how to make my favorite rig for catfishing. First thing you're going to start off with is about 3 feet or so of line. I'm going to cut this. This is what I call like a single hook rig or a bottom rig. It's just a really basic rig, but it's effective. And it's easy to tie, the materials are easy to get. We have our lead sinker, whatever size sinker you want to use, and I prefer to use bank sinkers since they have a big hole and they're easy to put the line through. What you're going to do, pass the line through and then back through it to make a polymer knot. And I'll put a link for the knot in the description of the video so you can see better how to tie the knot for a better description. You're going to pull it tight, then you're going to cut the tag end off. Then you're going to want to leave some line above the sinker. Now how much line you want to leave is really up to you, but I like to have about 12 to 16 inches or so. Then what you're going to want to do is a dropper loop. Leave a little bit of line about like that. Then you're going to want to tie the swivel on, unless you already have a swivel on your main line. I attach the swivel with an improved clinch knot. Tighten that down on the swivel, and everything should be tight. This is how I actually keep the rig until I put it on the line. After I tie the swivel to the main line, which would be with the top loop, I go ahead and I attach the hook. Now the hook, all you have to do, since you have the dropper line here, is pinch it down until you have a very little loop. And then you're going to want to put that through the back of the hook. Then put the circle hook through that, tighten it down. The hook will stay on there. I've never had a problem with the hook coming off. And that's how you have your rig. That's just a simple bottom rig. Your bait's going to be hooked to here. So the science behind this, the bank sinker will drop on the bottom and your bait will be suspended off the bottom. So in a lake, your bait's going to hang there, or in a river, it's going to flow with the current. So the cut bait will be standing out with the current. If you never need to cut the rig off and put something else on, like if you want to change it out for a Carolina rig or a double hook rig or something, you can simply slide the hook off and then your rig's still fine. Then you can store it away. Then you don't have to worry about your hook getting caught on anything. One more rig that I'll show you guys that I use in places if there is just basically not any snags would be either a high-low rig or a Kentucky rig is what I've heard it referred to as. You're going to want to get a little bit more line, close to an arm's length, maybe about 5 feet or so. And just like the single hook bottom rig that I just put on and put through the weight, once you have the weight on, you're going to want to go up maybe 12 inches or so. That's where you're going to tie your first dropper loop. Then after that, after the dropper loop down at the bottom, you're going to tie another dropper loop, maybe 12 inches above there or so. Now what this is going to allow you to do, you can put 2 hooks on here. So there you have it. That would be your dropper rig, or your Kentucky rig, I should say, like your high-low rig. What this allows you to do is put baits at 2 different water levels. Now if you're suspend fishing, you could even go a lot higher with this top hook. You could put it up 24 inches if you're just going to drop it down and you're not going to really have to worry about casting. Now most of the time, as I said earlier, I use a single hook bottom rig. And the reason for this is because a lot of the water that I fish has a lot of snags in it. So the more hooks you have on, the more snags you get. Now the nice thing about the high-low rig is really whenever you're limited in the number of poles and hooks that you can put out. So for instance, in Indiana, you can only fish with 3 rods at a time. So having a rod with 2 hooks on it lets you cover a little bit more area, since you can get the bottom and then a place up higher too in the water column. But I would say by far most of my times I use this. Now if I would use live bait more, I would use something like a Carolina rig or a Santee rig, which I plan on covering in the future, and that would be able to allow the bait to swim around a little bit better. But I feel like this is one of the best rigs that you can use if you're using cut bait predominantly, since it can, in a river it'll go out, and then even in a lake you'll have it sit off the bottom. That way the fish doesn't have to go down, especially if there's a bunch of mud to go into the mud to get the bait. So if you guys like this, be sure to check out some of my other videos. I have some more how-to videos, and I plan on putting a playlist together on my YouTube channel. Till next time, guys. See ya.